Okay, hello Futex traders and to the wider investment community listening into the price ladder analysis stream. What I'm going to be going through today is a little setup that I saw, setup that we saw in the EUR stocks 50. Effectively, what I want to go through is the 7 a.m. futures open on the 11th of January 2016. Why? Because we opened up with a small little gap, and I just wanted to show you guys how it effectively trades when we have these little gap open. So let's just get right into it, and hopefully we can ascertain a little bit from the price action as to how we can trade it and where we can get involved. Now, key levels to keep in mind just as it starts. We see the open just took place at around 29.88. 29.95 is so 29.95 is our gap close. And that's not the closing gap where the actual market closed, but the low of the previous day. So as you can see, as we just started off the replay, we've seen a little bit of a flush through from the open at 88s down to about 83s. And now we're trading up to this 93 level now, just ahead of these 95s. Now, any intraday trader would probably look to just try and scalp something off these 95s. We haven't been filled there. But as you can see, the market's found just a very tiny bit of resistance there. Nothing crazy. We've just gone bid through that level, not looking altogether that good for the shorts at the minute. So you can see very quick price action. We traded right through those 95s. Now we're 2 ticks through. And you can see at the high of the day, we're now building more volume than just under that. And really what you want to see at a high of the day is somewhat of tapered volume. So we'll just see how this reacts here. If we get on side, or if not, we just want to see how this reacts. We're seeing a bit of an absorption here at 95. Someone's trying to sell into 95s, but a buyer is now stepping in at 95s and holding it. If this short is to work, we want the buyers at 95s and 94s to give up, which we're not seeing at the minute. You can see 100 lots trading into 95s, and we're not seeing much of a reaction. So what I'm going to do is split my clip. I'm now short 10, split it into 5 lots. What I'll do is try and take just a quick nip of a tick, only because I'm seeing some buyers actually willing to step in here. And we left a bit of a tail to the downside. So I'm not looking for much here, really. So we've just come down back to these 92s. If you guys remember correctly, the buying just started coming in at around 90s, 91s, and around these 92 areas. So we want to see if the buyers actually hold these 92s and we can lift back above these 95s, there might be a trade on for a bit of a reversal move off this gap. So we're just trading into these 94s here. 9 lots just gone through these 94s. Very little size coming through at the minute for us to really make any sort of concrete decision. We're holding these 95s at the minute. If the sellers are going to hold this level, we want to see them reload here, which we haven't seen. The buyers have actually overwhelmed the sellers so far, and we're now bid 95s, trading 96s. Again, 100 lots. The bigger clips are coming in on the buy side. So my stop is effectively just above these 97s. If we trade 98s, I effectively want to be out. So we'll just wait here. Seem relatively lucky that we hadn't traded 98s yet. Like I said, even if anything goes through at 98s, we want to be out straight away, which looks like it's going to be very likely as we just going bid 97. Someone seems to reload, but there we go. We just traded 98s. I'm out at 99s because I couldn't get 98s. But that trade is now off the books. We don't want to be looking at that anymore. We want to look a little bit more at the buy side opportunities. And why? Because we filled that gap relatively quickly. And it seems as if we're not looking really to hold this. So look how quickly I'm just looking to cut and reverse and get involved on the buy side, only because, like I said before, the buyers are now overwhelming above the gap close, which we said was at 95s. So what we're going to try and do is try and step in just ahead of it, try and buy a little bit at 98s, 97s, and see if we can get anything a little bit lower as well. Maybe some more wholesale prices a little bit lower, just under those 96s. You know, what we're typically expecting now from this setup is, since we've gone through those 95s, 96s, those sellers that were sitting, similar to the analysis we did last week, those sellers that were sitting in front of them, trying to play for that gap sell, are now offside. So we're looking for those shorts to now cover a little bit of their position just above this area. So we're getting a little bit more aggressive just on top of here, because we know those shorts are likely to be a little bit more aggressive with getting out of their losing positions. So we're now, we effectively just, if we look at our completed positions, we've now bought 97s, 98s, barely a tick on side. We're just watching this price action unfold in front of our eyes at the minute. You can see someone's trying to lift these 99s. At the minute, it seems we're finding a little bit of selling pressure just ahead of here. But as we said before, look at the size of the clips on the buy side. The sell side clips are around 30, 20 lots, but the bigger clips are always coming in on the buy side. So that's where we want to stay. As long as those bigger clips, the more aggressive clips, are staying on the buy side, we know that we can stick with this flow and look for a little bit more of an extension to the upside as we've now filled the gap, and effectively we're looking for this gap fill, these 95s, to hold us as support now. Our stop effectively on the whole of the trade, if you really want to be correct, is below the low of the day. However, you would probably want to stick it just below where the buyer came in, around 91s, 90s. If that buyer is no longer there, we could very well slip down towards the low of the day. So you want to kind of pay attention to where the buying is currently sat at. So as you can see, we've just gone through the high there, just trading these 3002 level now. Just bid through it. You can see we're starting to try and build a little bit more value, a little bit higher. You can see it at 3002 now. We're just trying to trade through that level, build a little bit of value, a little bit higher. So we're just waiting for this kind of play out. Effectively, what we're looking for on the trade is maybe just a little bit more of a flush. As you can see, we're just trying to build a little bit more value, lifting with bigger clips, as we said before, than on the offer side. And all we're looking for maybe is just a little bit of a flush, and somewhere where the bids are not as aggressive, some sort of responsive selling to step in, and then we'll start covering a little bit of our position here. So what we'll do is kind of take that clip. Now 500 lot stepping in at the 03 level. We want to watch this 500 lot. If this guy can't get filled, he might actually start going to market. He has pulled that offer, so that bid, so it seems as if that guy might have been a fake one. But again, you want to be watching these order flow dynamics, especially between the 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. Trading session, where it's effectively mostly just locals trading out. If you see bigger size, it's usually because someone needs to actually get that size done. So effectively, more often than not, I'm paying attention to bigger size in the book during that session, only because, like I said, there's less, in my opinion, less execution, algorithmic flow, in which case you can kind of look at these bigger bids and offers and take them as integrity bids and offers, well, at least hopefully. So you can see we're just trading at this 3,000 level, holding around here. We're not being put under any particular pressure. I'm going to remove these bids now just because if we get back down below at this level, I want to be actually looking more at what the sellers might want to do if they want to actually push it through these 95s. We've now pushed higher. We don't really want to see this get through our 98s, but as you can see, someone's trying to sell into these 98s here, and someone's just absorbing a little bit more. Instead of looking for the buy side trade a little bit lower, I'm actually trying to add a little bit more to these 98s, only because every time someone tries to come in and sell at these 98s, it seems like someone's reloading. We're not currently getting them. We're going to sit patiently. Hopefully we can just get nick those 5 lots and possibly take a small scalp intra-trade. Have not been filled those 98s, unlucky. But we've now gone bid 99s. We're going to stick here with 98s to see if we can just quickly take a few quick ticks. Have not been able to get filled, so you're not always able to get filled, but like I said, with these kind of small short-term scalps, if you're just playing for, let's say, this intra-trade scalp, effectively you don't want to be too aggressive, because then you're pyramiding into a position, and then you're turning a scalp trade potentially into a longer term trade, which is just only going to make your average price worse. If you're looking just for this to come back to 98s, for example, like I was saying, and then scalp quickly out of 01s or double O's, that's a different case scenario. Now I'm going to pull that. I just find that if you just carry out these good practices as you're going along, it just makes you altogether a better price ladder trader. In fact, when one of the biggest mistakes I used to make was just effectively turn, like I said before, a small short-term scalp into something a little bit longer term because I didn't get the fill that I wanted. Let's say I would have gotten aggressive and now bought double O's or 01 just because I was aggravated that I didn't get my 98s. I'm forgetting the fact that my initial intent was only to take a few ticks out of that absorption pattern that I saw in 98s, and actually almost reinforcing my idea that this is going to go up overall. So as we're seeing this now, we just kind of found a little bit of some resistance here at these 02s and 01s. We're not quite moving just yet, but like I said, we know we're wrong effectively once we get back below these 95s. So I'm still very happy to hold the longs that I've got in 97s and 98s. Just going to wait here to see if we can get any sort of reaction. We've just gone all for these 98s. We're trying to trade through these 97s at the minute. Again, 100 lots just traded into 97s, and you can see we're currently trying to absorb that. I'm not liking the fact that we're actually holding an offer 97. So at the minute, what I'm going to do is actually take that 10 clip and just hover over the offer in case we get back down below these 95s. If we take out 95s, I'm going to take out one clip and then watch the next clip, possibly a little bit lower. So scaling out of a position. So in fact, this is something that we don't usually go through, but you know how people scale out of a winning position? That usually should imply that you should be open to the idea of scaling out of a losing position as well, not only a winning position. So let's just say we get through this 97, 96s, 95s especially. I might just take out 10 and 94s instead of waiting for it to trade down to 91s. And if we trade through 91s, then I could take out the rest of the 10 instead of taking the whole lot out. So it's just a way to see how the market reacts. So let's just see how this reacts here. We just found a bid back above these 98s again. We're back trading 01s. The area where we found resistance was 01s, 02s. We're now going bid through there. So this is really where we want to see the buyer step in, because that was the previous little area of resistance before that led us to trade down to 97s, 96s. Let's just see. Just gone bid 03s. We're seeing a little bit of a flush here, so we're going to try and scale out of our position if we just get a bit more of a move through these 04s, 05s. Trying to hold a bid at 05s. You can see very little. Once it starts picking up a little bit more pace on a bit of a flush, hopefully we can scale a little bit out. We've seen a small little pullback. So every time we're going up 1 or 2 ticks, we're seeing like 1 or 2 ticks pullback. So I'm going to wait on this. Hopefully we get maybe 3 or 4 ticks of a flush here, which we're not getting at the minute. Seems like every time we go bid 2 or 3 ticks, we're just back on the offer again. It seems there's still some people willing to step in and show some responsive selling. So what I'm going to do is take out 5 lots here. I've got a 500 lot just at 09s here. Don't really want to fight that at the minute in the 7 to 8 session, as we said before. Take out another 10 here at 08s if it allows us. Might have to move that down to 07s. Yes. Now we've only got 5 lots left on our position. Just waiting it out to see if we can take out these 09s. If we can't and we dip back below 05s, 04s, then I'll just take out my remaining 5. As we've seen a little bit of a flush through these 04s, 03s, 04s that we were kind of looking for on the trade. You know, effectively from the 95s, you know, from the range that we had from between 83s to about 94s, 95s, about 12 ticks. You know, we've extended about that much to the upside. So we've had kind of a 100% extension of that area. which is kind of what you want to be looking for. Nothing too crazy, just an extension based on the people that might have been selling on the open. Now you can see we're doing a bit of volume at 07s here, which is a good sign for the longs overall, but since we're only looking for a short-term scalp, we might see this actually try and come back a little bit. I'm just going to wait this out here. At 06s, as soon as 05s goes offered, I'm going to try and take the remaining 5 lots out of my position. Just trading into 06s here. $182 lots lifted at 07s, 100 lots lifted at 08s. Not much on the offer anymore. That's been taken out. We're seeing maybe a slight little bit of excess flow here in the pattern. And we're just running a trailing stop on this 5 lot now. Biggest offers we can see really is at 14s and 16s. So really, we're not going to try and be too greedy, but we'll just put in our 5 lot here at 13s. See if we can get filled on that, if we get a little bit of a excess flush through these 10s and 11s. Just going bid the 11s here, trying to hold the bid. Not much on the offer to be taken out, so we could do this. We traded 12s now. Trying to hold this area at the minute. Very close to our offer. Here we are, and that's our fill at 13s. So that's overall just a very, very short-term trade that you could look at potentially on the opens. When you get these gap opens, effectively, you know, what I'm always trying to keep in mind, obviously, is the context of the market. But effectively, what we had on the day before, we had quite a weak close in the market. So this was our close here at 95s. And then we had the open, which took place somewhere around 88s. We had this quick move to the downside, move back up, slight move off these 95s. Then we broke through the 95s. We started using that area as support. And as soon as you start using that area of support, that's where you want to keep your eye on the price action here, because effectively, like we've said, even in the last week's stream, this whole area, you know, where people below here were selling, above this area now, this is where they might actually be buying those positions back. And effectively what you're looking for is just a squeeze of those positions and an extension through the highs there, and you can see it's actually just followed through a little bit more there. But it's interesting when you get these kind of gap moves, and then the buyers step in because they see a lot of wholesale pricing there. You know, you get these quick flowy type moves, which is good for, you know, for intraday scalping, positioning, trading. So overall, that's basically the setup that I wanted to go through. A little longer than usual because we had to wait it out and watch how the price action unfolded. But nevertheless, hope you guys enjoyed that, and stay tuned for more price ladder analysis videos in the future. Thanks very much for listening. Bye bye for now, guys. Does the price action on the buy side reflect absorption? That's way bigger than we expected. Way bigger. We're going to be buying in front of this 2,000 lot here, 32.